Hi everyone, I'm Felix Mercado, founder and CEO of M Squared Real Estate Group, a referral concierge service for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, and mortgage lenders. A frequently asked question that's also on the top of my list from homeowners or sellers is the almighty important one. If they have a buyer that's going to finance the purchase of their home that they're selling, the big question is, what if my property does not appraise for what the buyer agreed to buy it for? Well, you have a couple of options. One is you can challenge the appraisal if you know for a fact it's way too low and your listing agent has really strong comps to support that challenge. I've done that before, and sometimes we win, sometimes we don't. It depends on how flexible or understanding the property appraiser is. The other is you can lower the sale price. So whatever the buyer agreed to buy the property for, if it's higher than the appraisal, then you can lower the price and say, hey, listen, I get it. I'm just ready to move on. Here you go. Or if you're firm on that number, you say, nope, I'm going to sell the property for this. The buyer can sometimes say, okay, you know what? We'll waive the appraisal contingency. We'll make up the difference just so we can keep moving towards closing. Or if you are helping the buyer out with closing costs, one of the first things the seller will do is to say, okay, I'll sell you the house for the appraised value, but if I'm giving you $10,000 in closing costs, I'm going to subtract the difference of what I'm losing because of the appraisal from those closing costs, so that this way I'm not losing and you'll just make up that difference as the buyer. That happens quite often. It's not the most ideal situation, especially if a buyer doesn't have all the money that they need to close at that point, but then that's when you pull it all together and you reach out and you dig into the piggy bank, you dip into the savings, you dip into your retirement benefits account, and you pull it together if you really want to buy that property. So those are some of the suggestions that I have, but most importantly, if you're a seller, listen to your listing agent. If your listing agent is upfront and honest with you and they're not just trying to list the property to get it, if they present you with a number that's not quite what you are thinking about, I'm telling you, they have the support, they've done the research, they're presenting you with the CMA. It's important for you to take their word, because what you don't want is for that property to sell on the market and eventually you do a couple of price drops and you eventually land at what the listing agent suggested, or you run yourself into a situation where the appraisal comes in so low and you're not happy with it, and either the deal falls apart or you have to give up money. So hopefully this is helpful, and take my advice.